Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today for this session on how to raise your visibility using LinkedIn. Special thanks to Nikki and Will from Practically Perfect PA for inviting me along to do this virtual summit with you guys. This is the first summit where I'm actually visible myself on video, so I'm super grateful for the opportunity. I'm really excited to help teach you all about how you can raise your visibility using LinkedIn. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jennifer Corcoran and I am the CEO and founder of My Super Connector, which is an award-winning social media consultancy. And in a nutshell, I help professionals like you and small business owners to learn how to polish up their LinkedIn profile and connect with finesse in order to achieve both business and career success. And in my past life, I was a former award-winning executive assistant. And I first learned how to use LinkedIn as an employee and as an executive assistant. So today I'm going to share with you my top tips as to how you can raise your visibility. And the way the session is going to work is I've actually created a live demo with you on the platform itself. And I'm going to go through the platform and the profile section by section and teach you which areas you need to focus on in order to truly raise your visibility. So I would encourage you all, if you've got any tabs open, any emails, got your phone on, got your social media on, switch it all off for 20 minutes and give me your full attention. I promise you it will be worth it. So before we get over to the demo, I just want to quickly touch on two things. So number one, why LinkedIn? And number two, why have a personal brand on LinkedIn? So number one, why LinkedIn? Well, there are over 610 million professionals currently on LinkedIn throughout the world. And people on LinkedIn are in a business mindset. So you have all the key decision makers there. You've got the CEOs, the CFOs, the HR managers. They're all on LinkedIn and they're all in that professional business mindset. As an executive assistant, I use LinkedIn in a lot of ways. I used it to connect with my colleagues, with my peers. I used it to connect with suppliers, so restaurants and hotels, any suppliers. I also used it to raise my personal brand. I posted and blogged. I also used it to network in groups with my peers. I'm a big believer in collaboration, not having to reinvent the wheel again and again and again. So I shared best practice a lot. I used it for market research, and I also used it as a networking tool. So I used it to connect people in the back end, but I also used it if I was attending a networking event or a conference. I reached out to people in advance and I sent them a personalized connection request. So by the time I entered that room or conference, they recognized this face and they had already bought into me as a person, and that is super powerful. I can remember being in a meeting one day in the Savoy and the manager going, "Hi, Jennifer," and we had never actually met in person. He just recognized this face from LinkedIn. Super powerful stuff. So there are a lot of reasons you should be on LinkedIn. It's not just about, leads and sales. It's about collaborations, partnerships, raising your brand, being perceived as an expert, networking, market research, so many reasons. So hopefully I've convinced you that number one, you need to be on LinkedIn. So number two, why do you need a personal brand on LinkedIn? Surely you're an individual. You're not a massive corporation like Nike or Coca-Cola. You don't need a personal brand. Well, everybody has a personal brand, whether you are aware of it or not. And it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. So it is your reputation, it's your online energy, it's everything that makes you up. And you need to determine that your online brand and your face-to-face real brand are congruent and that they match. Because there's nothing worse if you meet someone in real life and they don't come across the same online. It doesn't have to establish that essential know, trust, and like factor, which we all need. So you have a personal brand, and I'm going to help you in the demo to tweak various sections of your profile so that we can really get that personal brand shining. So just quickly before we head over to the demo, I just want to touch on a few things. Now, I've only got about 20 minutes or so in the demo video, so I can't touch on everything today, but I would love to connect with you all. So please reach out, send me a personalized connection request. Tell me that you did this session, that you watched this video, that you watched the demo. I would love to connect with you. And then the second thing we can do is I can invite you, or you can apply to be entered into my LinkedIn group, My Super Connector. This is a group where I share top tips and updates on LinkedIn. It's a safe space for you all. You can ask me questions in there. So please join the group or connect with me and I will invite you in. And then the third thing is I can only touch on certain sections of the profile today because of the limited time. But if you sign up on my website, I have a LinkedIn profile success checklist, which is several pages long, and it will walk you through all the stages of your profile that you need to optimize in order to achieve that true visibility. So that's it, folks. I am going to say goodbye for now and stop this recording, and then I'm going to see you back in the demo. So thanks for bearing with me, and apologies for the slightly crazy hair. It seemed like a good idea to leave it down. You live and learn. Okay, I'll see you in the demo. Bye. Hi everyone, it's me again. I am here to do a quick rough and ready demo around your LinkedIn profile and the platform. I'm here to help you optimize certain key sections so that you can increase your visibility and stand out amongst your peers. I'm also here to help you get to grips with the 3 different ways that you can network on LinkedIn in order to raise your visibility. So I would encourage you all at this stage, if you've got any tabs open, any emails, any distractions, please turn them off. Give me your attention for the next 15 to 20 minutes. I promise I'll make it worth your while. Before I start to navigate through your profile, I'm going to tell you about the 3 different ways that you can network on LinkedIn in order to increase your visibility. So a lot of people get hung up on number 1. So number 1 is via the home feed. So this is via any posts that you share, any blogs, any videos, and also engagement with your network, such as liking, commenting, and sharing their posts. So number 2 is in the back end in LinkedIn Messenger. So these messages are only seen between yourself and the person that you're messaging. And number 3 is via LinkedIn groups. So I know a lot of people get confused as to where they can find groups, and you need to go along here to this drop down here, this box work. See this little arrow drop down, you click on that. And there's groups in the middle. I'm going to click through. You're going to see all the groups that I belong to. You can see them all listed there as I scroll down. You're currently allowed to be a member of 100 groups, which is quite a lot. I personally focus probably on 5 to 10 max. And you can also see the groups you've requested to join. Don't take it to heart. A lot of admins, they're not on LinkedIn all the time. You can withdraw these at any time if you get fed up. And you can also create a new group from within this window. Now, if you do not belong to any groups, you can find new groups by searching up here in the search bar. And you can also look at someone's profile like mine, and you scroll down to the very end of their profile to the interest section. Almost there. And if you click see all, you can see on mine, you can see all the company pages that I follow. You can see all the groups that I belong to and the schools that I belong to. So the groups, have a look at mine. They might give you some inspiration, and join that way. So that is the 3 ways that you can network on LinkedIn. So home feed, Messenger, and the groups. So I am going to quickly go through some sections of your profile which I think will really help to raise your visibility. And these are going to be your cover photo, otherwise known as your cover banner, your headshot, your headline, and your summary. And if I've got time, I'll touch on a few other areas, but I think these are the sections which will really help you to stand out and make you shine online. So in order to access the back end of your profile, you need to click on this pen icon. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to take us straight through. And now we're in the back end, and I'm going to start from the top down just to make things a bit more clear. So now I'm up on the cover photo, as I said, known as the cover banner. The preferred dimensions at the time of making this video are 1584 by 396 pixels. You can see my cover photo has my branding on it, color-wise, navy and gold. It has my logo, and it also has a bit of a tagline as to what I do. Now you might think, well, I don't have brand colors or a logo or a tagline. What can I put up there? When I was an executive assistant, I checked with my company and they didn't have a policy in place. It's good practice for you to check with yours. I know of one company which currently has 5 different options for employees to choose from, so they can choose the image which best suits them and their personality. Now, if they do not have a preferred cover banner, you can make one yourself with Canva. So that's canva.com. And it's really easy. They have a set LinkedIn banner template in place. When I was an EA, what I did was I created one which consisted of one color only. It was green. And it helped me to stand out because the generic default is that blue. And the way I came across the green really was the bank that I worked for, their branding was green. They were also very green in terms of recycling, and being from Dublin, green is a country synonymous with Ireland. So by putting that green up there, I actually stood out, and there was nothing on it except for one colour. So perhaps you're part of a network, or you like public speaking or blogging. If you've got some images that you want to stick up there, stick them up. You might have some tagline or a quote that resonates with you. But most of all, make sure you stick something up there, even if it's a basic color. It will really help you to stand out and to be more visible. Now, if I wanted to click into the back end and tweak this, again, I click on the pen here, and you can see there's various options. I can change the photo, I can delete it, I can crop, filter, adjust, I can zoom, and I can straighten. And once I'm happy, I click apply and exit. So I'm going to quickly exit. And I'm going to go down here to the profile, the headshot. And please ignore this schedule little thing that keeps popping up. It's from Tailwind. It wants me to pin down images. It's nothing to do with LinkedIn, so please ignore it. Now, the preferred dimensions for your headshot are 400 by 400 pixels. And to get into the back end, you click on the pen again. You can see the exact same options as before. You've got the change, the delete, the crop, filter, adjust, the zoom, the straighten. And at this stage, I would like to encourage you all to invest in a professional headshot. This shows that you are serious about your profession and that you mean business. It will also help you to be highly visible and stand out among your network. When you are getting your photo done, be mindful of your branding, how you are dressed according to your profession. If you have any particular brand colors, I would recommend that you look head on to camera. Don't look wistfully away to the left or the right. It's all about the know, like, and trust factor. People need to see your eyes. They need to see your face. It needs to look like you. It needs to be up to date. You need to be approachable. You need to be personable. You need to be professional. So you do not need a full body shot. You do not need a cropped selfie from a night out. I've seen one lady wearing a PA wearing a Deb's dress. It needs to be a professional headshot. It's a really worthy investment. You can use it across all of your social media. You can use it if you have a guest blog. You can use it if you're ever a speaker at an event. Such a worthwhile investment and will really help you to stand out. And it really helped me to stand out when I was an EA. If you are strapped for budget, there are lots of conferences where you will have a personal branding photographer taking shots on the day, where you can get the first headshot free and then the option to buy several others. So watch out for that. Otherwise, take a shot that's up against a neutral background and mess around in here with the filters and the crops, and you can get something professional looking. It's so worth it. And when you're happy at the end, you can click apply and then exit. I just want to say, in relation to your cover photo again at the top, think of this as your advertising banner. This is your opportunity to show the world who you are and what you stand for. It's really your warm introduction, as is your headshot. You know, whether you're looking at the desktop or on the app, These two things will really make you pop when it comes to branding. Now moving down, you can see you've got asterisks. You need to put in your first name and your last name. If you were married before, if you've a maiden name, actually stick it in here, because if other professionals know you by that previous name, it's definitely worth having it listed. And underneath we have the headline, and on the desktop you have 120 characters to put in here. But if you use the app, my top tip, it's a bit hacky, is use the app and you can stick a few more characters in. You can also put in little asterisks or designs that you feel relate to your headline. Now, the headline is the most common mistake on LinkedIn, and a lot of people just think it's their job title, where it's so much more. It's really what you do, who you help, and the features and benefits that you bring. So there are various proof points that you can have. You know, if you're only based in London or Devon, stick it in the headline. If you specialize in project management, stick it in. If you only work with law firms or SMEs, stick it in, because you have to think how people are going to be typing into the search field at the top. If you just put executive assistant, there are millions on LinkedIn, you know, you're not going to stand out. So try and be as niche as possible and really elevate that headline with some proof point, whether it's 10 years experience, 20 years experience, 30 years experience, award winning, or shortlisted for an award, specialty. You know, there are various ways that you can stand out. Now I'm just scrolling down a little bit more, and you can see my education is listed there. You have to put in the country you're based in, also your zip code, which is your postcode in the UK. And it's worth noting, once you do put in the postcode, you will get various options. Location wise, I've chosen the one that is the most relevant for me. Industry wise, you need to fill this out as well, and you've got lots of options. I think for an EAPA, you might be looking like something like executive office. If you're in facilities, that one might make more sense. Facilities services. Choose the one that best relates to what you do. Then we have contact information. I'm going to show you an easier way to actually go in the back end, which I prefer. And lastly, in this section, we've got summary. So you have 2,000 characters to play with in your summary, and it's really your story, your history, your experience, your why. Tell your story. This is highly personalized. This is about you and your career journey to date. The most important thing is make sure you've got a clear call to action at the end. Always list your email or your phone number so people can quickly get in touch with you. And really sell yourself. LinkedIn it's a platform which was created specifically for business. People are in a business mindset. Don't be shy, so get tooting that horn. Really list your specialties. Don't be shy. You know, you want to stand out, and the more optimized this section is, the more you will be visible. The main thing to note is that the first few sentences have to have real impact, because these are the first few sentences that you see on the desktop and the app, and they encourage you to click on the show more. And if they don't have impact, people are going to just turn away and find somebody else. So put the thinking cap on and think, how can you create that bit of impact at the start? And you can see underneath, you can link to media. So you can either upload photos or graphics, or link to a URL. So you can link to a video, to a guest blog, to maybe a presentation you've created, something that's relevant. And when you're happy, you click on save. And it's worth noting, at any time you can come back in. You can see all the little pens. You can click, you can edit or delete any of these off. Your summary, a lot of your profile will remain static. You know, your past experience, your skills, your schools, whatever. Your summary is a living document and will need to be tweaked every now and again, depending on your current role. So it's always worth taking a look at it every few months, just to make sure that it is up to date and relevant. So I'm going to quickly click out of this section, and I mentioned that I like to click here for the contact info. I think it's a far easier way to get into the back end. And it's amazing how many people don't optimize this section. You need to fill this in, because you need to be easy to contact. What if somebody looks at your profile and wants to approach you and offer you an opportunity, a speaking opportunity, a blogging opportunity, a new role? but you don't have any contact details, and they reach out to connect with you, but you don't connect, so they cannot get in touch with you. So definitely, you know, at the very least, make sure you've got an email listed there. A professional business email is always more credible than a Hotmail or a Gmail. If you don't want to be inundated with messages, create a separate folder within your Outlook, which is what I did as an employee. It looks so much more professional if you're on a business email address. You can link to your Twitter account. A lot of the same people are on LinkedIn and Twitter, so it's a nice touch. I just have my address UK because I'm virtual a lot. I don't need to list my full address. If you do, stick it in. I have my mobile, which is my contact number. I've also listed 3 websites. I'll show you how I did this in a second. And my profile URL, I'm going to show you how to tweak this, because this is the kind of information that you will stick on your CV, and you do not want to be landed or stuck with the generic one you get when you create your account, which is full of numbers and digits, and it doesn't look great. So to get into the back end, again, I click on the pen, and at the top you can see I've got 3 websites. So what you do is you put the URL on the left hand side. On the right you click on the drop down and you have a few options, so personal, company, blog, RSS feed, portfolio, or other. If you have several sites you want to link to, you have to keep selecting other in order to do so. So maybe you've got a LinkedIn group like I have, maybe you've got a blog, maybe you've got an event coming up, you could link to an Eventbrite link. So it's up to you, or just link to one. And as you scroll down, you can see my phone number, my address, my email address, my Twitter. You can also add in things like Messenger or Skype, Google Hangouts, any of these. And at the end, you can see my birthday, which is visible only to me because I've gone into my privacy and settings and tweaked it. But of course, for the sake of this video, you know that I am a Capricorn. So I am just going to quickly get out of this and show you how to tweak your public profile URL. Okay, that's it again. So to edit your public profile and URL, it's up here underneath your head. So click on that and it brings you through to your public profile settings. This is what people see when they're not connected to you. And then to edit your URL, you click up here, click the pen. And it's as easy as that, and you're not allowed to put in any spaces, symbols, or special characters. You can, however, hyphenate, so I could have done Jennifer-Corcoran. If your name's gone, don't panic. You know, I've put in a number 1 at the end. You could put in personal assistant at the end or executive assistant. It's whatever works for you. Now to get back, I'm going to click on the LinkedIn icon, which is going to take me back to the home feed. And I'm going to quickly bring up my profile again by clicking on the Me, drop down and view profile. Now we've done a lot so far, which are the main areas which will give you impact. But I just wanted to say, if you need to add in other profile sections such as accomplishments or volunteering, the way to do it is you go over here and you click on Add Profile Section. And you can see I can add in work experience, I can add in education, volunteering. I can also, all of these drop down arrows, I can add in skills. So I can put in 50 on my profile, or I can do this further on. Accomplishments, oops, that always seems to pop off. Accomplishments has 9 categories. You can see here you've got publications, certifications, patents, courses, projects, honors and awards, test scores, languages, organizations. Phew, a lot. So if you belong to an organization, working backwards, maybe you belong to EPA or IMA or IM or something like that, stick it in. If you speak in more than one language, stick it in. If you've got test scores, maybe you're looking for a new job, you've just been tested on Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, stick it in. Honors and awards. If you've got anything that can help you to shine, put it in here. And it's worth noting, it doesn't have to be only an individual award. Maybe you worked for an award-winning team or company, so it's worth putting it in. Or maybe you were, the honor could be Employee of the Week, Employee of the Month. So get creative. That's an area to help you shine and really become visible. If you've created or been a part of any projects, put them in. Again, any relevant courses. I realize patents will not relate to a lot of you, so don't worry about that. Certifications, put them all in if they're relevant, and publications. If you've ever guest blogged or done a white paper or something, it's worth sticking it in. So I'm just going to quickly go out of that area and scroll down, and you can see, I think I'm probably going to end just here on your dashboard. So this is the area underneath your summary, and as you can see, it's private to you only. So you can see this dashboard either on the desktop or on the app, and you can see that I have All-Star here, and I'm going to talk you through what you need to do to get that All-Star in a moment. Now at the top you can see who's viewed my profile, article views and search appearances, and this relates to the last 90 days. Now the article views relates to my last post only. So I think I posted up earlier on today. So that's what it relates to. The 366 search appearances are over the last 90 days, as are the 1,162 people who viewed my profile. Underneath you can see career advice and career interest. I've got them both switched on. I'm not sure how beneficial this works really in the back end when I'm looking for a job, or in the past I always explored the job section. Now the All-Star, when you do achieve it, what it means is that you will show up in 40% more searches because you have optimized certain parts of your profile, and we've discussed a few of them already. So one thing you need to do to qualify is to have a headshot, put a profile photo up. You also need to put in your location, and in the back end, if you remember, we put in the industry sector. You also need to put that in. You also need to link to your education, so it will be your school or your university. You also need to have at least 50 connections in order to qualify. And if you scroll down to the featured skills and endorsement section, this is this area. You are allowed to actually add 50 skills, but you only need to have a few to qualify. And once you tick off all these boxes, then you will achieve that All-Star. You don't get any big fanfare. It will just suddenly appear on your dashboard. But it's a great indication that you are optimizing your profile and you will be visible in 40% more searches. So I know we've only touched on a bit today. I've told you the 3 ways that you can network on LinkedIn. I've helped you to optimize certain parts of your profile, so your LinkedIn URL. I've told you to update your contact information so that you're quickly contactable. I've told you how to update your cover photo, your headshot, your headline. We've touched on briefly on your summary and the way that you can attach media to it, and that you need to have impact in these first few sentences. And I've also briefly touched on All-Star. At the very start, I touched on interests and groups. I would advise you to have a little cyber snoop at your colleagues, your peers, and again, click on the see all, see the groups that they belong to, because some of them may be just perfect for you. Have a look at other people's profiles for inspiration. So you can see my experience. Just quickly scrolling down before I leave you. If I wanted to tweak any of this, if I wanted to add new experience, I simply click on the plus here. If I want to go into the back end to edit or delete, I click on the pen. It's really straightforward. So scrolling down again to education, again, this same thing. If I want to add something new, I click on the plus. If I want to tweak in the end, I click on the pen, and you can see these lines appearing, these 4 lines. And if you see something like that, it means something is draggable. So this might be useful for you. And quickly scrolling down, volunteering, it's the exact same again. Something new, click on the plus. If I want to tweak, click on the pen. Skills and endorsements, if I want to go into the back end of this section again, I click on the pen icon. If I want to go into the back end of the recommendation section again, I click on the back icon. You can see here on the recommendations all of the ones you've received, all of the ones you've given to people. If you've got, I've got one pending here. And the accomplishment section, all of the 9 categories kind of fall into the one area. So if you want to add something new, you click on the plus at the top and then you select which part you want to add to. And then if you need to tweak as you're going along, you click one of the drop downs, and then you're in the back end, and again you've got the pen, and this will allow you to go into any of these and amend. So the same principles apply, and anytime you see a pen, the pen is your friend. It means you can click through to the back end. So I know this has been a whistle-stop tour. Hopefully you found it of benefit. The 3 things that I think you really need to optimize in order to give yourself that increased visibility and the X factor are cover photo, headshot, and your headline. They're so powerful and they will encourage other people to read on. So I hope that was useful, folks. Please reach out, connect with me, send me a personalized connection request, tell me that you watched this video. I would love to link up with you. I also run my group called My Super Connector. I would love to add you all into the group. It's another way for us to continue the conversation over there. If you've any questions, it's a safe space and it will get you into the swing of networking in groups as well. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this and enjoy the rest of the summit. Thanks again, Nikki, for allowing me to be part of this. Thanks, guys.